the NBA playoffs are near, and the Dallas Mavericks are playing their best basketball of the season. Over their last 12 games, they've gone 10-2. Now, I'm running out of ways to describe Mavs star Luka Doncic. How would you describe him?
You're just now running out? I've been out for like 2 years now. The best way to describe him is NBA Western Conference Player of the Month, right? I mean, he averaged 34 points. Every night you turn him on and watch Luka, you're like, there's something I didn't know he could do. And maybe it's faster than he's played before. Maybe it's slower. Maybe it's a pass you've never seen. But
the passes are outrageous. Some of them you're like, what?
He passed the ball the other night. I've never seen this in a basketball game on purpose. I've seen it like in a kid's game. He passed from one corner to the other corner to an open player over the rim. And he did it on purpose. It hit the player perfect. Right in the shooting pocket. It was a great pass, but I'm like, he just sees things and even thinks of things that nobody else would even consider. Like, throw it to me over the rim. It just doesn't make sense. But Luka, a lot of things he doesn't make sense. Yeah,
and he did earn February's West Conference of the Month, or Player of the Month.
Player of the Month, yeah.
Which is great, and hopefully just scratching the surface with really only 15 games left in the season.
Yeah, and like you said, they're playing their best basketball, and I saw Jason Kidd this week on the record, like we've been all year. He's on the record saying the goal this year is to get out of the first round. Now that seems really low for a team that won the championship, but they haven't been out of the first round in 10 years since they won the championship in 2011. So now we can hold them to that standard. It doesn't seem irrational to win a playoff series. Maybe they can catch the Jazz for fourth place and get the home court advantage, but with the trade of Porzingis, I think they're a better team.
Yeah. Well, this was a perfect transition. Thank you. How does
almost professional segue, wasn't it?
How does this season feel differently than last season? Of course, the Mavs getting bounced in the first round by the LA Clippers this last season and the season before.
Yeah.
You think they'll get out of the first round?
Well, there you go.
At least they're not probably going to play the Clippers.
That's the good news.
That's the difference.
Well, a healthy Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, which a lot of teams struggle to beat, especially the Mavericks. So that's how it's going to feel different. Right. It's going to be a new opponent.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Maybe Mavericks having home court advantage.
Home court advantage would change everything. Now they got to catch Utah, which is going to be difficult, but they're right there. Yeah. And the way they're playing, you beat the Golden State Warriors twice in 1 week.
Right.
You can beat anybody, and you're a legitimate playoff threat. But I think they have more of an identity this year than the past because Porzingis, for all his talents, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
He thought he was the guy in the clutch to shoot the ball. He wanted the ball. Luka, of course, commands the ball. Now with Spencer Dinwiddie, who I will say, I undervalued him, underestimated him. I didn't think he had
a lot of people did.
I didn't think he had a 36-point game in him.
Right.
I didn't think he had closer mentality and skills. I mean, I don't know what Washington saw to give up on him, but boy, Dallas is like, with Tim Hardaway Jr. out, and he played so well.
Veteran presence as well.
And he played so well that Jason Kidd did something Rick Carlisle would never have done recently, and that's he kept Jalen Brunson on the bench down the stretch. Not because he didn't play well, because what was out on the court was working. Carlisle was such a slave to his veteran players and his precious rotation. Kidd just kind of said, let's just let this see how it plays out. And they won a couple games doing that. So that's the different identity this year is Kidd's gut, and I think Dinwiddie gives them, let's don't jinx it, but so far he's the missing link to this team.
Yeah, and Dinwiddie has come out and said that he loves how when he came to Dallas, it was a very easy transition because they said, here's your role. This is what you do.
Yeah.
And he's like, it made it easy for me to gel with the team and have that chemistry when I knew what I was expected to do.
Yeah.
I wasn't expected to do everything, just these very certain things.
Yeah.
So now that we know what Dinwiddie is, maybe, and Bertans has been playing very well as well.
Sure.
How would you rate that Kristaps Porzingis trade?
Oh, it's been a slam dunk win from the start.
Everyone's congratulating GM Nico Harrison you did it, bro.
That's his first move. It might be his best move. Now, Porzingis, of course, he played for the Wizards finally, scored 25 points, and we've seen him do that. Yeah. But get ready, Washington. You may not see him again for a couple months. So I hope you enjoyed that performance. Right. What makes the trade lopsided is you've got two guys who know their roles. Bertans is not going to try to bring the ball up court.
Right.
He's going to stationary three-point shooter, and Dinwiddie can take some pressure off Luka in handling the ball, as can Brunson. You've got the ability to have at least two playmakers on the court at all time.
Yeah.
Not Porzingis, who could never create his shot. And I don't mean to rag on him. When he's healthy and focused, he's a great player with unique skills.
And he will be successful in the future if he stays healthy.
He will,
Yeah.
but what he can't do is create his own shot off the dribble. You got to create and then facilitate and have him shoot or in the low post. Dinwiddie, we've already seen can create his own shot for Luka, and Luka's like, whoa, this is
I've never had this
what a
happen
novel
before.
concept, and so far so great.
Right, for sure. The one thing that is concerning about Luka is those technical fouls. He currently has 12. He had 13. One was rescinded by the NBA. But when you get to that 16 mark, it's a 1-game suspension, and every game is so important right now, especially as you're heading into the playoffs.
Yep.
Are you worried at all about Luka and those techs?
I'm worried, but it's fruitless because he's going to do it. It's like
he wants to get to 15 and then be like, but I won't do 16. Don't worry.
I think he will too. I think he'll push it to the limit,
Right.
and then they'll say, "Look, one more outburst, you're going to miss a game." He loves to get mad at refs and show his emotions, but more than that, he loves playing. So he's not going to let A cancel B.
Right.
He's too smart for that.
Yeah.
But we've been, worried about his temper tantrum since he got here, and he knows how to lose his temper and yet control his temper. It's really strange. In the big picture, he's not going to miss a game because of it.
Right.
But during the game, you just kind of go, no, don't throw the ball, don't kick the ball, don't.
Yeah.
But he's a very passionate player. And usually he's right. The other night against Golden State, the ball hit the rim. He was like, the ball hit the rim. The ref's like, no, replay show the ball hit the rim. He was right. But being right will still get you technicals.
Absolutely.
Let's say it for the millionth time, he needs to throttle it back. He's not going to throttle it back.
Although I will say Coach Jason Kidd has talked to him a lot, and even in post-game pressers will say, I mean, it would have been nice if we had all of our players back on defense.
Yeah.
And he's obviously talking about Luka, and I think because Kidd has that playing experience, maybe Luka listens to him a little bit more than he did Carlisle. But we'll see. I mean, 12 is a lot.
Kidd has a way of getting on you without getting on you.
Yeah, I know Luka.
It's not passive aggressive, but
it's
a softer, gentler way of saying, shut up and play.
Right.
Which sometimes Luka needs to hear that. He's still a young kid.
Absolutely.